to School Matters. I'm Sean Gilliland. Later in the show, we'll paddle down the James River, get an international welcome back to school, and see how one teacher got surprised by the entire school. But right now, we're off to Tucker High School for an encore performance of a very special play.
All right, class, take a seat and take out your homework. The bell has rung, which means your time is mine.
It's like a broken record. Can't wait till June.
The premise for Deleted is that there's a veteran teacher named Edna Stubbs, and she discovers that a calculator that she's been using to make her grades is actually a time machine. And she finds out that some of her students are going through rough times, so she takes that opportunity to go back in time and delete them.
Have you heard about what's going on with Charlie?
No, I hope it isn't anything serious.
Well, his parents were in a horrendous car accident last week. Neither one made it, so he's living with his aunt and uncle for the time being.
Yes, it hurts, but sometimes we're a little better after the struggle.
One parent might be enough of a struggle, but both at the same time? Way too much.
No, Edna, please think this through.
No, Edna!
I was Edna 2, the conscience of Edna 1. She's the mirrored image of Edna when she was younger and a bit more moral.
I played Charlie.
Age 16. Center of my parents' world.
When he gives his monologue, his parents had just died, and he's kind of dealing with it. He's been moved from house to house. He's kind of trying to deal with the whole family situation now, so it's kind of hard.
My parents are barely cold in the ground, and all you want is my signature to sign over my parents' home, my parents' money, my parents' plans for the future. They're all signed away with my signature.
I thought I had to be smart, funny, athletic, all of it. And I'm not sure whether it was the expectations that my parents set on me or the expectations I set on myself, but either way, I was never enough.
I played the role of Michelle Solange. She is a character who is depressed and chooses to kill herself, which in turn causes her classmates a lot of distress and causes Edna, the main character, to decide to delete her because she feels that the students and teenagers should not be dealing with this kind of grief.
What happened at school today? I guess I never really realized how close Ellie and Michelle were as friends. Before, Ellie was always polite and respectful. Now that I've deleted Michelle, she's rude and disheveled.
I played Roger, one of the students. I was the gum-chewing, gum-popping, don't really care about school. I was that kid.
I play a student in the beginning, and then somewhere in the middle I turn into Miss Luz, the guidance counselor. I come in at the end to really help Edna after she kind of loses her mind.
In the 35 years that I have been in the classroom, every newfangled way to learn has been a lot of work and a lot of heartache for me. And for what? They still don't apply themselves, and they still find ways around the actual learning part of the assignment.
I get to sit on stage and know that everyone is there looking not at me, but at like everyone else on stage as well. And it's really hard to stay composed and completely still, especially during the monologues, as so many of the characters have tragic stories.
Nobody cares if I don't pass a stupid test at school.
Then I got caught. And once you get caught, you get a rap. Not just no rap sheet, but a real reputation.
I don't need any stupid friend. For what? My parents were never around.
Everybody did a good job doing their monologues. And like overall, it's just like the people that were cast for each part they were meant to play their part. They all did a good job.
I think all the students are very relatable, and I think we all know somebody who might have gone through something like those students, and it's easy to connect to them and feel the way they feel.
Definitely the classroom scenes are definitely relatable. Teachers are usually not like Miss Stubbs. They're usually a little more understanding and empathetic.
Miss Ficklin has actually had this idea for a while. She pitched it to me about 1.5 years ago, and we talked through things. Last summer, we really started to make headway on the script, and we gave the script to the students right after winter break last year. So we were rehearsing it for about 4 to 5 months until we hit summer, and then we really started rehearsing before we brought it to Scotland. Scotland was fantastic. The group of students was so prepared. They did fantastic shows.
All of the audiences were totally enveloped in the story, and the set was amazing.
It was really amazing to do it in Scotland, especially because we had such a small space, because I was able to really look at the audience and connect with the audience, and I could see people's reactions.
It's just a great experience to have. They're 16, 17-year-old kids who are still in high school, and they get to go to the world's largest arts festival and do something that most people can only dream of doing.
This is the second time that the Shoestring Players, Tucker's drama group, performed at the Fringe Festival. In 2015, they put on a different play, which earned them an invitation to return to Scotland this past summer. Great job to the teachers who wrote the play Deleted, and also to the cast who brought the show to life. Over at Henrico High School, the first day of school didn't just involve a visit from students, but a number of VIPs. Dr. Deidre Trent, the Secretary of Education from the Commonwealth of Virginia, came by to help kick off a new program that ties history in with the community.
This is African American Studies, and I'm your teacher, Coach Vance. This is a very special day, not only because it's the first day of school, but because this is a very special class offering that you all have decided to undertake.
Black history represents the missing pages of world history. And let me interpret that for you. History has been taught over the years in a truncated way. We get an overemphasis on Western history, Greeks, Romans, and the like. But all people have contributed to world history. And so part of the aim of this course is to help you all reinsert those missing pages, not only in the classroom, but going out to the communities.
I commend the two of you for recognizing the importance of exposing our children to the rich history and culture of African Americans in our community and our country. Now more than ever, it's critical that young people of our day understand the unlimited sacrifice and contributions of African Americans in this nation. So on behalf of Governor McAuliffe and the Commonwealth of Virginia, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing this great program to Henrico County.
What an exciting way to bring relevance and real-world student engagement to the classroom. So to you, I ask you, please, 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 pay attention, absorb everything. I really hope that you take advantage of this unique opportunity that a lot of your classmates won't have. This is real-world stuff. I need you all to make sure that you understand, as Dr. Wilson says, this is developing into young scholars, developing into future leaders, and hopefully developing into the educators of tomorrow.
Congratulations on being a part of history. Learn all that you can learn, be all that you can be, and make sure that you are being very, very successful. Let me leave you with this. Always, not just for this class, but always in life, 3 things. Make sure you're always looking your best, make sure you're always doing your best, make sure you're always being your best. You'll be successful if you do those 3 things. Give yourselves a hand on day 1 for being here. Thank you all very much.
I really want to thank you all, the students who are sitting here today, and I hope this motivates you to be leaders, not only here, but when you leave Henrico High School.
We'll be checking in with Derek Vance at Henrico High School later in the year to find out what they've been discussing in this exciting new class. Don't go away, because after the break, we're going to find out why a group of Henrico teachers were canoeing at 4 Mile Creek.
Here's another 2-minute history report.
She's the most photographed woman in America and has been for over 100 years. She's Lady Liberty, the enormous statue that stands in New York Harbor. Her story begins in the 1870s, when the French wanted to give the U.S. a 100-year anniversary gift. Sculptor Frederick Bartholdi proposed a statue based on the Roman goddess Libertas, but large enough to serve as a lighthouse. Gustave Eiffel, designer of the Eiffel Tower, lent some engineering insight. On July 4th, 1876, only the right arm was ready to explore. Finally, in 1886, the immensely popular attraction was completed and became the first sight seen by millions of immigrants entering America through nearby Ellis Island. She's 22 stories high and 154 steps from the base to the top of her head. There's broken shackles at her feet, illustrating the break from tyranny, and 7 rays emitting from her crown for the 7 continents. Made of copper, her green shade is the result of weathering. She served as a working lighthouse until 1902. In 1916, during World War I, an explosion went off at a nearby wharf. The tremor loosened the statue's right arm, and the torch has been closed to visitors ever since. In the 1980s, she received an $87 million facelift as a birthday gift. She's appeared on posters, in movies, and even as the face on a counterfeit $1 million bill. So here it is in a nutshell. A shining light, a tourist place. For immigrants, a friendly face. An injured arm and a crown of beams. Years of weather turned her green. Gift from the French that was 10 years late. But all would agree, she was worth the wait.
That's the Statue of Liberty in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to School Matters. A group of over 20 elementary teachers didn't hit snooze on their alarm clocks over the summer. Instead, they decided to experience the James up close. It was part of a HCPS teacher professional development training, and we caught up with them during the first phase of their exploration.
All right, here you go, ladies. Have fun. All right, ladies, here next. 2, 1, 2, 3. Good job, ladies, good job. Go, go, go. Give them a round of applause. Through a CB Trust grant, we were able to educate Henrico County teachers for 3 days of professional development. The 3 days included a canoe paddle at Deep Bottom Park in Henrico County. You're doing good. Hey, ladies. On day 1 of the canoe paddle, we were able to take 21 Henrico County teachers out, and we went into a tidal marsh, which is an area basically set aside for wetlands. What's the adaptation to that stem? What does that stem do? So if you look at the stem, one of the cool things is that stem, that plant can handle super wet conditions, but also can handle dry. It can store water like a cactus.
They got to experience our local watershed up close and personal, and really got to learn a little bit more about something they have to do with their students. Our 4th grade teachers are asked to do a meaningful watershed educational experience, which we fondly call the MeWe, and they wrote those plans as a part of this professional development. The feedback from the teachers, getting such a hands-on professional development and learning so much. They felt like they became really experts of our local watershed. They feel real confident in now delivering this type of education back in the classroom with their students.
There you go. Nice.
What's a watershed?
It's a place where all of the land area where all the water collects to a single location.
Yes. So it's a landmass where all of the water drains into one low-lying basin. And in this case, that green area here is the Chesapeake Bay watershed. So all the water, even if I come up here and dump a bucket of water, where is it going to eventually end up? In the Chesapeake Bay. Yep.
One of the things that we did at the professional development was this Chesapeake Bay mapping experience. And we asked teachers and students what states are involved in the Chesapeake Bay watershed.
So if you have a river on your popsicle stick, please label that now.
The 4th grade teachers teach about the watersheds, but 5th grade also reviews the 4th grade content since it's part of their SOL at the end of the year. So the 5th grade teachers got to brush up on some content knowledge when it came to teaching about the watershed and ecosystems and food chains and plant and animal life cycles.
There you go. Good job, ladies. I'm proud of you. On the 3rd day of professional development, we went to Reedy Creek Park in Richmond, Virginia, and we were doing a macroinvertebrate sampling. We're going to try to catch some aquatic bugs, okay, not your normal insects. And these aquatic bugs are called macroinvertebrates. This is called a macroinvertebrate box. which is a really cool way of collecting these microscopic bugs that are in the water. And basically by collecting these bugs, you can actually see indications of if the water quality is good or if it's poor. We're gonna lift it up. Okay, and then we're gonna come to land. And so basically if you catch certain bugs like leeches and aquatic worms, that's telling you there's something in the water that's letting these species live. This is the mayfly larvae I was telling you about. Look. We're looking at bugs. Come on over. When you start to see water pennies and mayflies and stoneflies, those are indications that the water quality is really good. You have lots of dissolved oxygen in the water, you have less pollution, because those types of organisms can't live in a polluted environment. At the James River Association, we really try to engage students and teachers on outdoor experiences. If it's a paddle in the river, or if it's a ride on our pontoon boat, or a day trip or an overnight trip to our ecology school, we really try to immerse students in outdoor learning. And you guys can feel that's a lot of pressure there. It doesn't look like there's water, but there's pressure pushing it down on the sticks. All right, so here I go. I'm gonna agitate it.
Nat Draper was a Henrico schools teacher for 17 years before he decided to switch gears and help educate educators and students by working for the James River Association. Back on land, there was plenty of activity during the summer as community generosity helped students and schools prepare for the first day.
Each year, the Henrico Education Foundation hosts the School Supply Challenge to support schools across Henrico County. It's a school supply drive to support students in need with everything from markers and paper and pencils to glue sticks, notebook paper, and backpacks. 57 different companies supporting 43 schools, and some of those companies partner with multiple schools, and they bring the supplies in to help equip the school right in time for school to open each year. More than 23,000 students benefit from the school supply drive each year. If it wasn't for the School Supply Challenge, we would have teachers that are trying to fill those gaps. And this is a great way that our corporate partners, concerned citizens, we've had churches, we've even had a few neighborhoods that put together a neighborhood drive to bring things in. And that's helping our teachers district-wide by making sure they've got the supplies they need and they're not the ones having to fill that gap. We're always looking for partners year-round. We have a School Supply Challenge refresh in January of each year, so we're looking for partners that can help us with that effort, and then again for the opening of school next year. So if a company's interested in being involved, just reach out to us at the Henrico Education Foundation office. We'll help you partner with a school near you and help you meet the need of those students.
Thanks to all of the community groups and organizations that donated supplies to help make it a fantastic start to the new school year for our Henrico students. After the break, we'll find out why the Governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, paid a special visit to Highland Springs High School.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
I adopted Bento from a shelter, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back to School Matters. If you've ever tried to throw a surprise party, you know how difficult it can be to keep a secret. Imagine trying to keep a secret with an entire school. It can be done, and Highland Springs High School proved it.
First of all, give yourself a round of applause for being fully accredited for the second straight year. One of those teachers in Highland Springs High School was the Henrico Teacher of the Year. So with Dr. Lee and all, please join me down at the podium. Stand right here with me, okay? So again, Dr. Naughton is the Henrico Teacher of the Year, but we also have some additional good news, and we have a special guest here to make a presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the 72nd Governor of the Commonwealth, Governor Terry Collins.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Let's hear it for the greatest marching band ever assembled. Give them a great round of applause. And I see we got our two-time state champion football team. Give them a great round of applause. I wanted to be here to officially announce not only is she the Highland Springs Teacher of the Year, I'm proud as governor that I announced she is for the entire Virginia state, she is the Region 1 Teacher of the Year.
The highlight of my career has been in this building and teaching all of you. And so you have made me such a better teacher, and I thank you for that.
So we can infer from that it's not modern times. Also, what about this whole Mrs. Millard thing?
I'm a person who education was a second career for me. Both my parents were teachers. I tell people that it was in my blood, but I ignored it for many, many years and went into a different field. And when I was home on maternity leave, the shootings at Columbine High School happened. And it's interesting that today is 9/11 because I know that there were a number of people who joined the military after 9/11, and I kind of liken that to my situation with Columbine. I remember just watching the coverage and thinking I really should be a teacher. And so very shortly after that, I renewed my teaching certificate and I found a job, and I was in the classroom that August. There were patches of blue sky showing here and there through the clouds that had met and piled one above the other in the west facing her window.
Congratulations to Dr. Greenlee Naughton, one of Virginia's 8 2018 Regional Teachers of the Year. And congratulations to Highland Springs High School for being fully accredited for the second straight year. All of that hard work throughout the school year really paid off. Going that extra mile is also benefiting our high school students participating in the Future Educators of America organization. They are lending a helping hand to teachers in the classroom and developing a long-lasting bond with the elementary students.
It's great. It's great to have extra hands and extra help.
The kids have loved them coming to the room. They're excited every day to work with them.
They just have a connection.
When I stepped into the classroom, I was like, it was my future. It was like my dream. I was excited and nervous at the same time. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm actually in here, you know? And then I was like, but the nerves are coming like what if I say something wrong? And if I do something wrong, like, what am I gonna do?
I wouldn't say I knew, I just did it and it clicked for me. So as I got older, I was like, wow, this is something that I'm really passionate about. I really enjoy, like, it's something different when you see like kids learning and understanding and you're the one being able to teach them. So I really enjoyed that.
They just make a connection and they just, you know, like to play with them, like to walk around with them. Just so it's really helpful for them because especially the kids that I work with need that socialization piece, and it's just great because that expands on that.
I think it's great because it gives them an idea before they even get into the college experience, and they actually get to experience what it's like to be a teacher and see truly what it's like.
It's kind of interesting, like working with little kids and then going to study why they act this way or why they learn this way. So this prepares me for what my job is going to be.
Kayla has grown a lot since the beginning of Summer Academy. When she first came in, she was a little timid and shy, but by week 2, she knew all the kids' names. She was more confident. She came in, I didn't have to give her any instruction. She just jumped right in and would just start working with the kids. So she has really transformed as a future educator.
Austin has been wonderful. He gets in there, he just makes the connection right away, and if we have one that decides it needs to move a little more than others, he works with that. And the kids, they just love him. I mean, they absolutely adore him.
It makes me feel amazing. When the kids come, they're always like, I love working with you, and I'm like, oh, thanks. But yeah, it makes you feel really good when you can actually relate to the kids, like take your time. It's really nice when the kids, like, they just are so excited to work with you. So that makes me feel awesome.
It really does prepare students. I know from the 3 FEA workers that are working here at Turvet this summer, we're all wanting to go into education someday, but the stuff we do here is definitely like, this is what it's gonna be like in real life. So you might as well get hands-on experience while you can.
I think it gives them an idea of how the school runs as well, because they're also doing a lot of administrative stuff and they're learning how the school works, and they're working with a lot of different ages. And so it gives them the experiences of working with different kids and also with the parents too. I think it will help them kind of decide if this is the route they want to go in their career.
I think it just gives them confidence and also reassure them that education is a great field to be into, and that they can, before they start their formal education in college, they already know kind of the expectations and that important part of teaching, which is not the book knowledge, but being able to form those relationships.
Well, that just about does it for this edition of School Matters. We'll leave you now with a very special back-to-school message from the students at Ridge Elementary. For School Matters, I'm Shawn Gilliland. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Ridge. ¿Dónde va to Ridge? Minklapi. Bakhailafle. Brobo Ridge. Chadongdong Ridge. Just the Ridge. Welcome to Ridge. Caribou Ridge.
أهلا وسهلا بكم في المدرسة الابتدائية ريدج.
أبوائي ريدج. أهلا وسهلا بكم في ريدج. Saya terbiasa Ridge. Marhaban fi Ridge. Bem-vindo em Ridge.
Welcome to Ridge.
Bienvenidos a Ridge.
Dobrodošli u Ridge. Ridge স্কুলে সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাই।